You know, there's a new book, and it's called What Do Women Want? It suggests that women are just as horny as men. But are they just as piggish about it? That's what we want to know. To discuss this and other sex relationship stories is the author of What Do Women Want, Daniel Bergner. Also joining the panel, relationship expert Siggy and my old pal comedian Chuck Nice is here to add a little
levity
juice to the conversation. So, okay, let's start with this one point that women, you suggest in the book that women are not monogamous. It's a myth that women are monogamous.
It is.
In their selves.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that is what science is showing us. But let me address something first.
Yeah,
it might escape your viewers' notice that I'm a man. So I think there's a risk of my seeming arrogant. You know, the book and 8 years of work here has been devoted to mostly women scientists, to listening to individual women tell their stories. And it's that science and those stories that I thread through the book.
Right.
So getting to the myth of monogamy. So we've long been told men programmed by evolution to spread their seed, to be promiscuous,
right.
Women to seek out one good man, thus relatively well-suited to monogamy. Science is showing something very different, and I think ultimately empowering about women's desire.
Well, I don't think that women are not monogamous. They want to change the man, but they don't want to change him 10 of them at the same time. That's the difference, don't you think?
I think you're right. And the fact that women, anyone could know that women aren't monogamous. All you got to do is watch Maury Povich. You are not the father, and you know that,
yeah, a lot
that
of
she
women,
has been out there.
That's true.
Women, you know, I believe that women have the same wants, needs, desires as a man. And I think what we have found through is that women are better at hiding it because they have to be. See, I think from a sociological standpoint, a man is far more likely to get violent, like, you know, like, oh my God, you cheated on me. So whenever you're afraid for your safety, you're going to use subterfuge as a way to protect yourself.
You like that theory? That's interesting.
I think it's a good theory. I think it points out a kind of double standard that exists even in a society like ours that seems so liberated and unrestrained when it comes to sexuality. Here's just one quick example of an experiment that I thought was kind of revealing. So Meredith Chivers, the first scientist I spent time with, compares what women say turns them on versus what their bodies say using a little device called a plethysmograph. One interesting comparison.
I have one of those.
Yes, we will get to the way that plethysmograph works in a second, but interesting comparison. Very handsome stranger, equally hunky, trusted, close friend. Women say the trusted friend turns them on, thus, you know, staying close to the societal script. Their bodies say something else entirely. It doesn't mean that their bodies are telling the only truth.
But why would you be turned on by a trusted friend? That doesn't make sense.
Well, you say that, but I'm not sure that we as a society are so comfortable with that. And I'll tell you one thing, early male readers among my friends have said, whoa, this is a cause of deep concern, because of course it's comforting to me as a man, to men in general, to say, oh, well, my eyes may roam, my thoughts may roam. My partners are on me.
But Siggy, monogamy is monotonous. Let's face it. Especially, how many women are sick of their same husbands? Or, you know, year after year, it's the same guy in the bed. They're tired of it.
There should be a 10-year rule.
But they don't. A 10-year rule. That's a long time already.
That's that,
rule. You know, there was such a thing as the 7-year itch, which I think now is like 3 years.
3 years now.
But women just don't act on it. Is the difference, I think.
And I think that's
as
because
often.
We have...
And if they do, they don't get divorced. They don't make fools of their spouse. They keep it to themselves.
They have more class and dignity when it comes to that. No, I'm not to each your own, but they have more class and dignity. And even if they can't act with class and dignity, women will tend to act as if to protect their face, to protect, you know, they're women. We hold to a higher level.
I will grant you women more class
superior,
all the way across the board.
I tell you.
I mean, we do. I'm sorry, we have uteruses. We do carry children. I mean, there's a lot going on.
There's more gravitas.
Yes.
I wish I could disagree with you, but the fact of the matter is...
But he'd like to get laid tonight. They say that women are just as horny as men. Do you buy that?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that it's in a different way, though. I think a man's horniness is a physical thing where, you know, you can't... I got to tell you, sometimes I feel like a crackhead, seriously. I mean, about sex. You know, sometimes it's a gnawing, pulling sensation deep down inside of my nether regions, and my penis is talking to me, and I don't know what to do. I can't shut it up.
What are you, a ventriloquist?
See, I'm going
All
to
right, go
disagree
ahead.
a little bit here. And just can we turn for a sec, even though most of my book is very much about women, to monkeys, close ancestors, just to see what they have to teach us. So we've long thought, and scientists long told us that males, the aggressors in war, and the aggressors sexually. But take the blinders off, take the expectations off, and you see females, the aggressors, females, the initiators sexually, and they have a little gesture, goes like this. And that is Morse code in monkey for serve me sexually now. So I think there is something, you know, when you talk about the crack, I think that the crack, if we can use that term, is there. But again, societies teaches us two lessons.
Let's talk about another thing that you say is a myth, that women have a low sex drive. You know, women in menopause, the sex drive kind of dwindles. After several years with the same partner, the sex drive dwindles. What do you say to that?
I spoke with a researcher who has followed women over 20-year periods, a huge number of women, so the results are no fluke. There's no question that menopause may have an effect, but it's quickly trumped by a new partner. And again, it's this lesson.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
But to me, it's all about
Chuck is crying.
It's all about timing. I think women are just as horny, or just as sexual as men, but it's all about timing. My husband would like to have sex every single night, but with us, with women, we're multitasking. We have children. I can't. I got to take this one to soccer. I just got home from work. I need to be relaxed. I need to be fondled. I need
She needs foreplay.
Yes, I need a little bit of foreplay, but I need complete concentration. Where with my husband, he doesn't care where, what. The kids could be in the next room. I need it, and I need it now. I've been with him for 7 years, married for a year, but 7 years with him.
See, that's why I have sex with my wife while the kid is at soccer practice in the bleachers.
Underneath the bleachers.
Multitask.
She'd like to have relaxed sex in the middle of the day.
And I would suggest to your husband he might want to take care of the kids, and then
he would understand.
His desires might be better met.
Okay, I'm going to go on to another topic because a new study of couples' sex lives found that women have more orgasms with men they thought were handsome and dominant. Do you buy that, Siggy?
Yes. I think women like mystery. Women like a man to be a man.
Well, let's just do handsome for a second, because the handsome part throws me off.
To each their own.
To me, if Danny DeVito has a better technique than John Hamm, I'm going with Danny DeVito.
Me too. I'm with
but
you.
you'll be thinking about John Hamm.
Exactly.
See?
And I love that. That's so revealing. Because
wait, but I'm sorry, but who cares who you're thinking of? As long as you get the job is done.
Yeah.
You could fantasize about anybody.
You know, it's so true, but we've long been taught again the myth: women are less visual than men. Based on what was this myth? When we look again at research, we see women responding immediately, powerfully to visual images, to erotica,
Good-looking men,
and to good-looking men.
Playgirl, the magazine Playgirl, which had a lot of naked guys in it, women don't buy it. Gay guys buy it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
Why did I say that like I know?
Not again.
You know, and I hope this won't be too graphic. So Meredith Chivers, again, the researcher I've mentioned, kind of dared me to deliver one bit of evidence on the air, and here it is. If you put men in front, picture men with their members in the relaxed state, shall we say, you're not going to get as much of a response, as much electricity, as you are in the upright, fully aroused state.
From women.
From women. And it's an interesting lesson that sexual charge really needs to be. Sex needs to be on the table in a raw way.
Are you saying that the women will look at that and equate that with sex or anticipation of sex, and that excites them?
And will become aroused immediately. So it's just another lesson that Playgirl legacy may not really have taught us correctly. We may just need to... Maybe to get more sex.
Maybe watching people have sex, or there was a magazine that had couples engaged in sexual activities. I don't not bought it, but I had a friend who had it, okay? And I think that's more of an arousal for women. When we come back, a new study finds that a majority of women won't even consider having sex with a man under 6 feet tall. Chuck, how tall are you, Chuck?
5'11".
We'll find out about that. I'm back with Daniel Bergner, Siggy Flicker, and Chuck Nice. Now, a new poll reveals that 70% of women say a man wouldn't stand a chance with them if he was under 6 feet. This despite the average male height being 5 feet 10 inches. I mean, what is that about?
You know, I think
Most men are not 6 feet tall.
Right.
True. I fear I've come across as the non-romantic guest
Yeah.
today. I'm very much a romantic, you know, very much into monogamy, not, you know, don't want to overstress something
Right.
like the visual here, but we shouldn't diminish the importance of the visual for women. It's just not, it's not fair. It's too convenient for men. How nice for me that at 5'10" and 3/8 I get to ignore the
I
issues
think
of height.
it's a non-issue.
It's a
total non-issue.
It is baloney. I've never had somebody come to me and say, match me with a short guy who sits on the couch with a bag of chips. Everybody wants the John F. Kennedy, the tall, but that's not who you're going to have chemistry with. Or
That's right.
I married a man who has no hair on top of his head. Do you think on my wish list was, I want a bald man? I'm very attracted to men who have no hair on top of their head. Go figure. We're all different.
Look at the two of you
Lucky
looking at
for
each other.
I was going to
Love
say.
it.
I'm liking it.
She likes a bald guy. Everybody's got an issue a lot of times about what your father looked like. Has nothing to do with what other
you.
people
Right.
think, right?
No, it's true. And I think that a lot of women say that. I believe they do say that.
absolutely say
you know,
that.
Just like a lot of guys say, oh, I want a woman that looks like Selma Hayek.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But
Jessica
the truth
Alba.
is that, you know, they go with what's there. Let's just be for real.
When you can't be with Selma Hayek,
Right.
love the one you're
Love
with.
the one you're with.
Okay, so now there's another report in Time magazine that was on. They took a survey of online dating issues, and the women liked men who were younger than. This is a new trend. Now, why is that? What does that tell you?
I think it's telling the same thing, that the same drives are at work with women often than men. And again, it's so convenient for men to think otherwise. The online dating thing made me think of a speed dating experiment that fascinated
Yeah.
me. So, you know, in speed dating, usually the men approach the women. The women might be sitting on a banquette,
Yeah,
just
that's right.
waiting.
And the men
go down the
change, right?
line,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then everyone checks, do you want a second date? Well, sure enough, in that situation, men check a lot more second dates, and that seems to prove men promiscuous, women a little less so. Genius researchers flipped it around, had the women approach, and lo and behold,
Same
right away.
thing.
No, suddenly the women were picking as many second dates,
that's what I meant.
as the men were.
The same thing as the men.
Yeah, it's like social structures affect the way we think about desire.
Well, they're also in the control position when they're the ones moving around.
Very much
So maybe there, and it's different. I mean, they get to ask the question they want to ask.
Yep,
True.
they're controlling, they're moving toward, they're in that
Also,
powerful
when
position.
you're the pursuer, you're not as picky. Okay? Like if I'm a lion and you're a slow gazelle, I'm eating slow gazelle tonight. You know? it's just that simple. I'm not going to be as picky because I'm doing the chasing. But when you're being chased, you're like, maybe I'll let you catch
That's
me,
true.
maybe I won't.
That's a very good point. But why do I like a younger guy? My husband is 7 years younger than me. And I feel that you can mold them better.
Well,
Why
that's
not?
no, but that's so honest. But going for a younger man, it works. 99% of the time, it does not work. You're setting yourself up to fall flat on your face. First
go
of all,
for a younger guy?
Yes, because a man doesn't. Why do you have to be in the molding position? Why can't you be in the position where you can look up to your man and always be the one who's young, and always be the one who's vibrant, and always be the one who's learning from him? It's
'Cause
a
he's
turn
not-
on.
he's under 6 feet tall, that's
no,
why.
well, I have a lot of men who say women today are butchy. They're too butchy. It's like time for us we could be smart and have uteruses and produce and do 19 things at once, but lean back and let the man be the man. That to me is a turn
Oh, yeah,
on.
I think you have to do. You're playing roles. But I had a shrink that explained this one time. He said people in healthy relationships change roles back and forth.
Right.
It's not he's the man and she's the woman and it stays like that.
Right.
Sometimes I'm maternal. Sometimes I'm more like your daddy.
Right.
Everybody changes around, and that keeps a relationship healthy.
I agree. That is
yes.
why sometimes I call my wife Bruce when we are doing it.
No, but in the bedroom, we always want the man to be the man.
Well, it's interesting that you say that,
What
because
does
one
that
thing
mean?
I write about...
Oh, in the bedroom, if Michael turns around and says, I love you, Siggy, I'm like, honey, 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 you've got the wrong girl. In the bedroom, I want you to treat me like I am your... I want to feel like I'm with the man, like take control.
I
take
think this is
control.
something
Hard
I
on.
heard over and over again, is the desire to be desired is so powerful a spark for women. And I think you're speaking about exactly that. It's what
I know.
sort of is the heart of my book. It's the...
But I
centerpiece in a way.
always went for guys that were quiet.
Me too.
And I like them when they're quiet.
Smart
and I
and
don't
quiet.
like the guy who comes to me. I like to go to them. What does that mean?
Well, the quiet, I understand. The quiet is brilliant. The one that's The quiet is
I
the
can't
one that's
stand
confident.
the life of the party is never my
that's what
thing.
me and my ex-husband.
Ladies,
because
I'm right here. I'm right
It would be
here.
a competition. No.
Yeah, you only can have one,
is
one life of the
confident.
party. You can't have two of them.
Smart and
Quiet
quiet.
and confident is what I
Oh,
always
that's
like,
the man,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You went to MIT or Harvard? Oh, you're the man for me.
Okay, now there's another
I didn't
study.
graduate from either of those two
You're bald.
institutions.
But you're bald.
There's another study that says that marijuana, the use of marijuana, makes women more likely to have casual sex during their freshman year of college. Anyone surprised?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what else works? Jack Daniels does the same thing.
Yeah, I think marijuana, relaxes you. And
Relaxes you, calms
that
you.
doesn't
It's like a
seem-
drink,
That
yeah.
doesn't seem earth-shattering, but there have been a lot of studies showing men much more interested in casual sex, one-night stands than women. Again, some interesting research that if you strip away the social stigma and, of course, the fear of physical danger, which is real, strip away those factors, and women are just as interested as men are.
So what have we concluded here?
I think what we've summed up is that we're all whores.
And on that note, I would suggest you go get Daniel's new book, What Do Women Want? Thank you, panel. We'll be right back.